Hey, sixth grade, we are getting ready to start a new unit working on percents, and today is our first lesson. So, for this lesson, we have 3 learning goals. You need to make sure you get them all written in your notes. So, first one, oh, that's not what I wanted. There we go. I will. Okay, so here's your first one. I will write fractions, decimals, and percents. I will write fractions, decimals, and percents. Number 2. I will model percents on a hundreds grid. I will model percents on a hundreds grid. And remember, you guys have to pause in between each of your learning goals to make sure you get all of this information in your notes. And learning goal number 3, I will explain the similarities and differences of fractions, decimals, and percents. I will explain the similarities and differences of fractions, decimals, and percents. So when you think about it, you guys, we hear the word percent all the time. I mean, you listen to the weather or just check your weather app. There's a 70% chance of rain tomorrow, or at school you got an 88% on your math test, social studies test, whatever. When you go out to eat, you have to pay, a 20% tip on your bill. So the 20% tip has been added to the bottom of your receipt. How much is that? Even when we pay sales tax, when we go to Walmart or Target or wherever, sales tax is described in percents, or it's paid in percents rather. So we hear this word percent used all the time. But what does it really mean? Do you guys really know the definition of it? Here is the definition of percent, and you need to make sure you get this in your notes. So a percent is another name for hundredths. A percent is basically a fraction with a denominator of 100. Even the percent sign, it's up there, above your 5, it actually means out of 100. So make sure you get that in your notes as well. So percent is another name for hundredths, and a percent is a fraction with a denominator of 100, and the little percent sign means out of 100. So a percent is basically a part-to-whole ratio with 100 always being the whole. So let's say I give you 35%. Boom, there it is. That also means 35 out of 100, just like a ratio. If I want 35% shown as a fraction, it would be 35 over 100. Or 35% shown as a decimal. The decimal part is pretty simple. Just a little trick. All you have to do is move over 2 decimal points, and 35% shown as a decimal is 0 and 35 hundredths. We can also use the hundreds chart to color 35 squares. So there's 10, 20, 30, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, lovely, isn't it? All right, so the 35 shaded squares represents 35% because it's 35 out of 100 squares that are colored. So percents, fractions, and decimals can all be used interchangeably. So let's try a few together using the 100 grid. Okay, so we're going to use this first hundreds grid, and we're going to mark off 57 of the boxes. So there's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so there's the 57 boxes that we've colored. In 6th grade, we can show this show this 57% in several ways. We can show 57 over 100 in fraction form. We can show it as 57%, Or we can move the decimal point over 2 spots, which would give us 0.57 or 57 hundredths. Let's try a couple more of these. Okay, we're going to do 2 more together. So let's see, this next one we're going to show 39%. So we'll color in 39, 10, 20, 30, 31, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 39 of our boxes, so we have 39%. To find the decimal, all we do is boop, boop, and move the decimal point over 2 places, so we then have 39 hundredths, and we can also show it in fraction form as 39 over 100, just like that. Are you guys seeing the connection here? All right, last one, 76%. So there's our 76%. Now we have to show it on our hundreds grid. So there's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. And it looks like we're going to have to count on these extra 6 going up because my face is in the way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's our 76%, of our squares colored in. There's 76% shown down below. To show it as a decimal, we have 0.76 or 76 hundredths. And then as a fraction, we show it as 76 over 100. So we're going to stop here for today. I realize I'm not giving you any problems at the end of this to solve like I normally have you do, but don't you worry, I will be checking your notes in class. So feel free to watch it again, rewind and find the parts you missed, whatever. That way you are prepared for class tomorrow. See y'all soon.